Well, welcome everybody. Well, welcome a few of you that are here. It's just me today, just me and you. So, guys, I hope everybody had a good weekend. You guys know over the weekend, this is a microphone. This is not a monster. It's not a little rodent. This is actually a microphone. I don't have the green screen up today. Don't need it because it's just you and me today, and we're gonna look at some Bigfoot pictures. Okay, we're gonna look at some pictures. We're gonna look at pictures that, according to the media, that these are some versions of the top 10 evidence pictures or whatever. A lot of you have seen this, but I thought today will be kind of interactive. Each picture that I show, each story that it comes from, we'll do like a one or two. You think it's real or it's not. And there's no right or wrong answer to none of this. There's no wrong or right answer. There's only your answer. And I gotta take this thing off because I don't know what this person's saying in the background. Okay, let me see here. All right, here we go. So before we start with these pictures, and we'll figure out what we think, is it real or not. And remember, like I said, nobody's here gonna beat anybody up on why this is real or not. Everything's up to you. Now, you guys know over the weekend I went to the Yakima Bigfoot and I had a good time. It was fun. Yakima is about 3 hours away. I will say the hotel suite was fantastic. It was huge, bigger than I thought. Now, it was weird to go into a casino that no alcohol is allowed. That is weird. It's an alcohol free native land. There's no alcohol allowed. So that was weird. That was weird going into a casino to gamble and there's no alcohol. I would think you're leaving so much money on the table. I'm surprised that. I understand if it's a alcohol-free county, but I would think at least a casino you do it because let's be honest, more you gamble, more you're buzzing, more you lose money to the house. It's an easy medicine combination, and then if you're sober, you probably ain't going to gamble that much when you're losing. But when you're buzzing and drinking, you gamble your money away. So that is a little surprising there. But overall, it was a fun time. I mean, if you go there for the speeches, if you go there to hear the stories, then listen, it's perfect for you. Now, for myself, every year, myself, my wife, my kids, we go to Emerald City Comic Con. Every year we go. We get a hotel room. We go to Comic Con, and it's just a fantastic time. I mean, I love it so much. I love seeing it's all ages. Everybody has a good time, and all the speeches are in rooms, but all the booths are in one room. So you have a chance to talk to the creators of whatever you're there for, the comics, the cartoons, stories, it's whatever. When you're there, you get to interact with, to me, the real people of these cons. Yeah, the speakers are great. They're good people, but I'm there for the people. I love the people. So one of the downfalls for me was the main speakers and stuff. They put their booths by the stage, and you couldn't really interact because otherwise you're interrupting people listening for the story. So that part was a bummer. I couldn't do what I like to do is interact. So that was a bummer. And another thing that's hard for me to understand is, guys, we got the VIP tickets versus the regular tickets. And of course, VIP is more money. And I'll be honest with you, we didn't get nothing extra for paying for the VIP tickets versus the regular tickets. Everybody got the shirts. Everybody got shirts. So a lot of, and I thought there's supposed to be special seating for people who bought the VIP or something. No, anybody can sit whatever they want. Now they're supposed to have these medallions that says VIP, right? So the conference starts at 9. We get there at 10. They had no medallions. No medallions. They had no medallions. So I'm really sitting there like, wow, man, I spent a lot of I guess extra money that didn't need to. Now, if it helps supports the speakers to be there, that's fine. I'm there to support them. But otherwise, did I get the value for my buck for paying the VIP versus regular? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I could have saved probably me, my wife, my daughter, I don't know, $90. I could probably use that $90 to gamble in the casino or something to see if I can win. Actually, be honest, I'm not really a gambler. I think I think I gamble just $20. I hate losing money to where you know, I just, but you know, I don't know. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out like what did I get for VIP tickets? There was no like, hey, VIP sits here. Everybody else sits there. No, everybody sits whatever they want. Everybody got shirts. So, it is what it is, right? It is what it is. Treat Long Island Bigfoot. Treat yourself like a VIP. And that's the thing, Mike. You know me, and I know you. I love to interact with the people, not necessarily people on stage. I love to interact, and I couldn't interact with the people in the stands because otherwise, I feel like I if I had, you couldn't even. My camera was so dark. My actually Canon camera, I couldn't film it. And even if I want to interview the people at the booths right there, it's so close to the stage and to where everybody's sitting. I'll be interrupting people if they're there to hear the speeches. So that part, so their version of VIP, it's, well, like I said, they're supposed to have medallions, but they said they ran out. I'm like, wow, man, the place just opened at 9. My friend was like, we just got here at 10. Wow. Because usually, I mean, don't get me wrong, but when you pre-sell tickets, right? I would have thought that you had an idea of how many people bought VIPs, so you kind of know how many medallions to give out. So it's weird that the first hour of the morning, they're already gone. So, I mean, do they have like it's almost like, did they have 300 VIPs coming and they only made 100? I mean, I don't know. But, it's no big deal, and the speeches, they're fine. They're fine. I guess I'm used to, and there's no right or wrong for this. Everybody has their different ways they like their conferences. Everybody's different, and there's no right or wrong. I love the interactions. I love like the energy kind of stuff. I guess maybe if I'm used to that because of Comic Cons, maybe because it's a younger crowd or younger speakers, I don't know. But I love the energy and stuff. And a lot of times at this Bigfoot conference, everybody had that middle tone. So for me, I wish it was even more interactive, because I would have thought, I was thinking to myself, if I was on stage, and trust me, I tried. I sent emails, I sent this. They wanted nothing to do with me for any stage kind of thing. And that's fine. But if I was on stage, I want to talk to you. I want to talk to the people. I want to know, why do you guys come here? What's their story? Yes, I know you're here to hear our stories, I guess, but I want to know their story. I would have loved more interaction with the crowd. Like, why are you here? Where do you come from? That kind of thing. That to me is fun. The interaction, and you see that a lot with Comic Cons, but I didn't see that here. And and to me, you can. You can. Is it because most of the speakers are a little older, and all that. Now, to me, if you want to attract young people, you want to attract the young people. Young people have more of a short attention span than older people. Is this true? I mean, it's the world that we live in. The TikToks and all that, everything is faster, faster, faster. They want it. So for me, I would have got the crowd more into it, more involved, and I think that would have been fun. And by doing that, maybe you get more of the younger people because listen, you're to keep the Bigfoot stuff going out further, in the future to keep going, you have to get young people involved because you want them to carry the torch. You want them to carry the stories of these Bigfoot, because no offense, you know, older you get, sooner you're going to die. I know how weird it sounds, but that's true. So you need to get the younger people. And sometimes I feel I've been at a few kind of these kind of conferences where it's really more created more for the older people. They'll go up there and speak, and like there's two people making a documentary. I'm not making fun of anybody. But they're like, yeah, we made this documentary, and we go interview people. It just wasn't like I don't know. You know what I mean? Where's that boost? Where's that? Oh man, we had a great time. We went to this state. This guy was telling a story. I was blown. Gotta be a little bit more interactive. Gotta be a little bit more punchier. And it wasn't a punchy. And the reason I'm not afraid to come out and say this because, hey, I wish somebody at the Yakima conference are listening to me in a way so they could like, hey, maybe he's right. We got to get a little bit more interactive. We got a little more energy. I'm jealous of the Bigfoot conferences that Connor gets to speak at and all that because I know they're giving exactly what I want to see. I want to see that energy. I want to see that. That's what I want. It makes it more interesting and all that. And now and also you got to also think about it. A lot of these people who are going to these speakers, they're good storytellers. Right? They're good storytellers. And the problem sometimes, great storytellers, I hate to say it, a lot of people will say something's real, something's true, not the facts, the evidence that they're telling you just because somebody's a good storyteller. I hate to say it, but it's true. I mean, listen, how do you think politicians get elected? You think politicians get elected by telling you the truth? Hell no. Hell no. Politicians lie up your ass to get elected. They'll say what you want to hear to get elected. And you guys know this. Everybody in the chat, you guys are all smart and intelligent people. You know this. You guys know that politicians, they just tell you stories just to get elected. So when I hear, even though I admit, some good storytellers, I'm not automatically going to say that person's real. That person's telling the truth. No, I'm going to do my investigation. I'm going to back up. I'm going to hear what other people say. I want to know what people think of this person because somebody's a great storyteller doesn't mean you should believe them. Otherwise, Biden and Trump are the most smartest people in the world, right? Right? They're most corrupted, most non-telling truth people out there. All politicians are. I hate watching the news right now. Everybody in the chat, you guys know. You guys watch the news right now? Oh my God, it's all politician ads. Oh my God. And every time I'm watching these stupid commercials, one is just bashing the other one, and the other one is just bashing this one. They're bashing that one, bashing. And I'm sitting there like, okay, the other person sucks. That person sucks. Okay, they suck. Why you? Then why? What are you going to give me? Right? What are you going to give me? So these politicians, and I always tell people, everybody's up here, hey, who are you going to vote for? And I say this. I don't vote for a Republican. I don't vote for a Democrat. I look for the independents. I look for people who are not assigned to a certain club, because whatever that club does, they do. I want more open-minded, independent people that are not there to serve a Republican Party, are not there to serve a Democrat Party, to serve us. And I look for independence, but the problem is most people need things spoken out for them. They need things written out for them, so they're like, oh, I'm just going to vote for that person because that person represents the party. So sad, so sad, so sad. Now, guys, when I admit the title is the media, I'm talking about the websites and stuff that always go with certain pictures that we all seen. But since we got only 11 people must not like me anymore. That's fine. That's fine. That's weird. That's fine. So I'm going to pull up this website. I'm going to pull up this website. And then this website is what the media is putting out there for, like, saying evidence and stuff. And what we're going to do is we're going to look at these pictures. Okay. We're going to look at it. I'm going to make it bigger. And we're going to do the ones and twos. So when I read this, if you think it's real, I want you guys to put 1. If you don't think this is the real deal, put 2. And there's no right or wrong. There is no right or wrong. This one's called the Provo Bigfoot number 2. So a hiker was walking through the Utah hills near Provo Canyon in 2012 when he spotted a large animal in the woods. As he approached, the animal stood up on 2 legs and started throwing rocks at him, supposedly a trademark behavior of the Sasquatch. So this is a picture. So hearing that, guys, when you're looking at that, do you feel that this story to you is real? And I'm only going to do a 1 or a 2. 1 is real, 2 is fake. 3 is not enough information. No, just, pick 1. Oh, space for time. 1 to all. Believe it all. Believe it all. Believe it all. Vote doesn't matter. Vote doesn't matter, Bolt Gun. But we're having a conversation, so I kind of want to get the flavor of what you guys think. So it's not necessarily that we're voting. This is the cut and dry, but this is more of an interactive show today. I want to be interactive with you guys. So I want to get the flavor of, do you guys think this story out there in Polygon? Now, I'm looking at this picture here. Now, I can see where this black thing looks like a face. You guys can see it right there, right? It looks like a face. Now, looking at that myself, I mean, it's interesting, but the picture itself is not enough to tell me that that's a Bigfoot, but, could that be a picture saying, it's a marking, it's it's telling you that they're there? Yes, there's that possibility. But for me, just looking at that picture, that's not enough for me to say that is Bigfoot. It is neat looking. It is neat looking. I will say that. But that one is not enough for me to say that's a Bigfoot. Most all nature spiritual beings realm of many combination into what looks like one being. That's a good one. I like that. I like that. What are the options, Hobbs? The options is, if you feel that's a real story, 1. If you feel that's not a real story to you, it's a 2. That's it. There's only 1 or a 2. You feel that it's real, 2 is wrong. And there's no right or wrong. You have every right to believe in. Okay, let's go to the next one. This is called the Mississippi Bigfoot. Okay, this one is the Mississippi Bigfoot. And let's take a look here what it says about the Mississippi Bigfoot. Mississippi resident Josh Hitcliffe captured a video of the potential Bigfoot while hunting on his property in 2013. Afraid to go back to the woods, he posted the footage to YouTube asking for help to identify the animal or the prankster to come forward. Okay, so we're going to pull this picture up. So if you're looking at that picture, that looks like the back end of a Bigfoot, the back end. Now, if I'm going to base it on the picture, I mean, I can't even claim, is it a prankster or not, because I don't have the strongest feeling in the world to say that back part is a Bigfoot. So now I wasn't there. Now he was. The guy was there. So in his eyes, he knows what the truth is because he's there. We're not there. So we're not there. So we're just judging basically on the picture that I have in front of me. So for myself, looking at the picture, that's not enough for me to say that's a Bigfoot. So for me to go further on the investigation to see if I think it's a prankster or not, I can't even sit here and say, hey, that's a Bigfoot. I mean, let me see if I get the picture even wider. Let me see if I can get it even more in. I mean, it is neat because you can see the color difference, right? That was way more black than the trees next to it. So that is something. But I honestly, on that one, I could probably say, that could be a bear too on that one. Now, 3, need more information. That is true. Need more information. Okay, you know what? Paranormal Pixie, let's do that, guys. Let's add a 3. Where need more information. Boat Gun says he's seen the video, so he thinks it's a 1. Okay. That is good. Here, let me type that in. Let me see if let's see here. I'm gonna see Mississippi Bigfoot. I'm gonna see if I could find that video on YouTube. Let me see here. I'm typing it in. Mississippi Bigfoot video footage. Let's see here. Well, Mississippi moment, Bigfoot sounds. No. The problem is some of these I don't know. But we'll just move on to the next picture. Like I said, this is more of interactive time for us. All right, let's go here. Washington Blue Mountain Bigfoot sighting. Okay. In 1994, former U.S. Forest Patrolman Paul Freeman claimed he saw a family of Bigfoots in the Washington's Blue Mountains. The video is shaky and grainy, but have been deemed the real deal by so-style Bigfoot experts. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna I don't know if this is gonna be considered unpopular or not. The part when they say Bigfoot experts, I don't give it. I fucking don't. I'm sorry. I don't like that word experts because we're assigning people. They're the experts. They know it all. Listen, everything about the Bigfoot, UFOs, paranormal is expectation, not expectations, but it's there's no listen unless you have a Bigfoot in your backyard. Listen, yeah. Now there's better trackers. There's fantastic trackers out for the woods. I give people that. There's great trackers, but nobody should be ever considered the expert. They're the expert in the field. Because what happens is it makes the regular people like, well, I'm no expert. I don't know. Listen, guys, you all have the ability to do your own research and study and go out there and do things. So don't ever get to the point where, oh, those are experts, man. I don't have, screw that. Don't ever hear experts. A lot of times it's being at the right place at the right time. Right? It's being at the right place at the right time. If people are so much experts, then I want to see thousands of footages of you if you're better than the regular people. It's being there at the right time, right place. That's what I believe. Sometimes I feel there is luck in it. There is a lot of luck because I believe that the Bigfoot is smarter than the common person. I believe that Bigfoot knows you're there, smells that you're there. And when you're searching for an animal, they know. Because anybody feel, if you're a hunter, you know, my family, we all grew up being hunters. And we'll all tell you that not every day you go hunting and these bucks are going to walk right out in front for you and say, hey, get me. Sometimes you do. Sometimes you get lucky. You know, they know when it's deer knows when it's hunting season. That's why you see does. You don't see a lot of bucks. They're hiding. Bigfoot's, my belief, for me, they're smarter than the people are. So it's sometimes, you know, it's luck of the draw, you know. Let me see here. I like to read what people are saying here. If they are such experts, how come they don't have a living Bigfoot in a cage? And that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying, you know, so we should not get lost when we hear, well, these experts take a look at it. Oh, okay. Then great. My answer, no. It's up to you. It's all up here. It's up to you guys. Common person dies without electricity. Okay. If you see them, they allow it. And you know what, paradox fossils? And that's one of the theories that I like, that I back up. If they want to be seen, they will. It's the old thing where they sense what kind of person you are, you know. And I really truly believe that. That's one of the theories that I accept for myself. Knowing if they want to be seen, they will. They know that you're just not a glory person, you know, because that is their, you know, that's their home. That's their land. Let me see here. Eric, that's why it's important to bring maple bacon bars with you. Sasquatch will love them and won't carry your tent. Bigfoot goose cuckoo over donuts. Really? But man, those maple bacons, goddamn. If you don't have a great heart, those things will give you a heart attack. Wow. But wouldn't you be afraid to give a Bigfoot one of those bacon Sasquatch and wonder what that sugar rush is going to be for them? Because, you know, if you don't eat like that every single day, you know, you get a rushing. Well, you know, just kidding. Hey, you never know. Hey, who doesn't like a donut, right? You know, hey, I heard, you know, I can't tell you if it's true or not. I hear it from paranormal investigators, the ones that hunt demons, say bring a jar of peanut butter with you. Peanut butter, well, attracts demons. Okay, and they could. Some claims that they could capture a demon inside of a peanut butter jar because they like peanut butter. You know, who am I to say? You know, I'm still that person who questions, is this a ghost here? Or is this a demon here? How do I know the difference between a demon and ghost? I know a lot of people have theories on the difference between a demon and a ghost, but you know, but the common person that is investigating going there, do you really know if that's a ghost or a demon? You know, you know. All right, let's go on to the next one. All right, Johnstown's Millie Bigfoot. Locals in Johnstown, Pennsylvania were baffled by a footprint measuring 17.75 inches found near a resident home in 1980. According to the Associated Press, the footprint coincided with reports of strange noise and a strong but unusual odor in the area. Okay, now first thing is you run into a footprint. I like what he did there. You put some matches there to give you the look and the size, and he's put his hands there. That's a good investigation. You know, if you find something now, I'm not talking about if that footprint was created by a Bigfoot versus a hoaxer. You find something like that, put a tool. If you don't have something to measure it, put a tool, put matches so you could get the difference between the sizes of the two. That's what he did there. That's one-on-one. That's that's perfectly one-on-one. So I respect he did there. Now, I guess if I'm looking at this to the guy who spotted this and took the picture, I think the next question I would ask, are there several footprints? Are there several footprints? You know, what does the area look like around it? Because I would ask that, because if that footprint is put by whoever has enough weight and pressure to make that dent. So the first thing I would ask is, are there other footprints by that? And the reason I'm asking that is, if there's no other footprint and that's the only one, then yes, I'm going to ask the question, why is that the only one? If there's enough pressure to make a footprint there, I would think there should be others. Now, there could be reasons. Maybe it was raining. That section of the footprint did not get enough water on it to wash away. You know, I'm going to look at things like that. I'm going to ask things like that. Why? Why? Because if you determine that that's not a hoax and that is a real Bigfoot print, and there's no other signs of any other Bigfoot prints near there, then I'm going to think of, then there's got to be a portal. If you believe in that thing, and I'm open-minded to the idea of a portal could exist. Because in this case, if there's no other footprints, then the only thing I could think of, there's no rain, there's nothing else to wash away any other prints, then, and you're saying that is a Bigfoot print, then you got to think of the possibility of a portal, right? I'm just saying, I'm just thinking outside, because look at that. That's a good print. Something did that. There would have to be other prints unless something happens. So that's kind of the way I think. I look at it. And if I determine that that's real, I don't know how I'm determining it on. I mean, I can look at the area, and it's hard to know if people are out there, because, we all know we live in the world of pranksters. I mean, that's just a fact. But that's the first thing I will look at. Why aren't there any other footprints? Why are they washed away? And if you feel that's a real deal, then I am going to think of a portal. I just will. That's one of the things I love about the Sasquatchers when they were on stage, that they brought up pictures of what they believe that a Bigfoot portal, how they disappear. Because I told, I took, a lot of people know the experience that we had when we saw Bigfoot when we were kids up in the Sierra Mountains above Fresno, California, where we saw this thing. We saw it scream, and it was no bear scream, and we all chased it. Now I was younger. I didn't catch up. And everybody was chasing this thing that we know it's a Bigfoot. Get to a point, it disappears. It was just gone. It was gone. Boom, gone. How was it gone? Did it jump in the tree somehow? You would think you would have heard the trees. You would see broken branches coming from a tree. So it makes you think, if portals do exist, it would explain how it just disappear. But like I said, hey, it's their woods, right? I've been in the military, and I know special forces, Rangers, Navy SEALs. If they're out in the woods, they could disappear like that too. So it could have just disappeared without a portal, just disappeared. Because if Green Berets, Rangers, SEALs, special forces are out there, you're not even going to know they're there. You could walk almost right above them. You're not going to know. And think about that. You're not going to know. Special forces out to an area that they don't even know. Now, put in Bigfoot, they know the area. So they are the Rangers and the Green Berets of their areas. They are. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. All right, let's go on to the next one. Allegheny Bigfoot. Let's read here. In 2007, hunter Rick Jacobs captured one of the most famous Bigfoot images to date with the camera mounted to a tree in Pennsylvania. Allegheny National Forest. His camera also captured a clear photos of bear cubs, offering evidence that unidentified animals was not whatever. But skeptics believe the animal is just a bear sick with image. A bear sick with image. First of all, I want to know from you guys in the chat, do you guys think that's a real picture of a Bigfoot? If you do, put in 1. If you don't believe it's a Bigfoot, put in 2. And if you think he needs more information, then put in the 3. So I'll make this picture bigger. Let me make it bigger. To you, do you think that's a Bigfoot? So put in 1s and 2s. Paranormal Pixie wrote 1, so she thinks the real deal. Brown Dwarf, put in 1. Mystic Round Fazzle, put in 33. I got you. I got you on that 33. Hobbs put in 1. Dina P put in 1. Okay, now I'll get Pam Smith put in 1. Now, of course, I don't know this person who took this picture. And he's one of the most respected person in the community, but I personally don't know him. So, that's where I listen to people who might know the person who took the picture, and a lot of times I'll see what they think. So when I'm looking at this one, I'm seeing a lot of people do believe that it's real. And when I'm looking at the picture, I will say this is more of the more realistic pictures that I've seen. Could that be a sick bear? I mean, I guess that could be a sick bear, but I grew up next to the mountains and stuff, and I've never seen a sick bear like that. Never. I've never even seen people use the words of a sick bear. I mean, I heard sick bears, but not looking like that. Now, Bolt Gun says skinny black bear. I mean, I'm not going to say it's not. I mean, I wasn't there. I'm not there. I'm not up front. So I can't sit there and tell you physically that is a Bigfoot. I would say I think that's one of the better pictures versus some other questionable pictures. That's a better picture. And listen, I at 100%, I want all these pictures to be 100% real. You know? I want it to be 100% real. But unless you're there in person, nothing is 100% unless you're there. Nothing. So when people hear my story, I don't expect anybody to believe my story that we saw a Bigfoot at 100% because you can't, because you weren't there. So something be at 100%, it has to be with your own eyes because this is telling the truth, unless you're a nutball and you got mental health issues, and then you got, you're taking pills or you're on, I don't know, you're taking a lot of LSD out there or something. I mean, I guess there are things that can make you think you saw something, but I'm talking about regular people that aren't on anything and all that. So I will say this is one of the better ones. Okay, so let's go to the next one. Provo Canyon Bigfoot. In October 2012, a group of sibling hikings in Provo Canyon thought they spotted a bear in the woods and started filming. When the creature stood up on all two legs, the hikers ran, abruptly ending the shaky video. A year later, the siblings launched a Kickstarter campaign to investigate other Utah Bigfoot sightings. Okay. All right, people. So what is this? Tell me the story. Do you think this story is real? Or you think it's not real? Now, I'll tell you something. I don't know these kids who they're writing in the story. And I don't even care if that really was a bear. If that really is the thing that made these kids want to investigate more, and they even started a real Kickstarter for their investigation. Oh my God, that is awesome. That's all you can ask for, right? Like the government UFO hoorah that they had, the big conference that they had. I always thought those kind of conferences like that are all a bunch of bullshit that the government does. But I did say, but if that was what inspires people to look into themselves, then it's a win. So it's a win. Now, Pan Smith wrote, "Too big to be a bear, and look at the background. It's fall or winter. Bears want to be out about, would they?" Now, Pan Smith, now she wrote to be back out because when it starts to become fall and winter, they hibernate. They get their food. Girls on hotline. Uh-oh, we got one of those. I'm gonna block this. We got one of those. Okay. All right. Somebody delete it. Thank you. Girls online. Thank you. Unless the girls are online, they want to look at me. They hibernate. They're not going to be like out in the open. So what Pam Smith is saying is exactly correct. She's exactly correct. Why would the bears be out there at that time? It's already blocked. Thank you, Danny. I appreciate that. What's funny is I know when you block it on YouTube, you'll be able to see it. But since I'm doing this from StreamYard doesn't tell you if they're blocked. So, Pan, you're absolutely right. So I like this picture, and I love the fact that it says it inspired them to launch a Kickstarter to investigate other sightings. So, I don't know if anybody's from Utah. Do any of you know that this group did get funded and they are still out there investigating, that would be very interesting to know, because this was the thing that kickstarted them to look. Guys, I'm telling you, that's fantastic. That is fantastic. You know. All right, let's go to the next one. Independence Day Bigfoot. Independence Day. Called the Independence Day film, a beast was caught in a remarkably clear video that shows an alleged adult Bigfoot walking through the woods with a cub, a kid in tow. The filmmaker and exact locations are unknown, and many skeptics claim that there is a telling visible scene of a gorilla suit. You know, guys, there's a skeptic in everything. On everything, there's going to be skeptics. One of the best footages that I have seen in a long time, not a Bigfoot footage, is a paranormal footage that our good friend Identify S4 put on his channel with the ghost hand, seeing the person in the window. And we all know Anthony. We know him. We know he's not going to plant a handprint on purpose. And you can listen to his reaction. You can listen to what the footage that he had. And you know it's a real deal. And he went on another channel that had people, skeptics, saying, well, that's this, and this, and this. You're always going to get the skeptics on it. And your opinion for yourself should never come from a skeptic or even a so-called Bigfoot expert. The answer should come from you after you feel you've seen enough and make your own decision. So don't ever base things on skeptics or whatever. And hey, listen, I hate to tell you guys this. I think a lot of you know this. I think Mike Long Island Bigfoot would tell you this. There is even people within the community, that so-called Bigfoot community, don't want other people to have findings. There are people out there. They only want the findings to come from themselves. I hate to tell you that, but it's true. So sometimes those people will say, nah, because they want it to come from them. There's so many people like that. If you want to call them gatekeepers, you want to call them that, you call them whatever they want. That's why I always say it's got to be you guys. You got to make your own final decision. Don't base your decision on skeptics and people who so-called the experts. I'll say this again. They could blow the experts out of their asses. Okay? Blow it out. In my eyes, you're all investigators. Some people could investigate out in the woods more. Some people look at video footages. However, you can all investigate. Internet doesn't matter. Woods doesn't matter. Talking to different people, calling different people, getting different people's opinions. However, you can investigate. Not everybody can go out in the woods like some of us can. Not everybody can. Actually, I'm seeing a doctor this Friday to see if I'm going to need a surgery on my right leg. One doctor I saw yesterday thinks I will going to need a surgery on my kneecap because apparently I cracked a piece of bone inside the kneecap and it's floating around. That's why my leg locks up. But ain't gonna stop me, baby. I'll still get out there. I don't care. Nothing's gonna stop me. So, all right. But beyond that, what do you guys think of this picture of that? Do you feel that's real deal? Hold on, Pat Smith. But I live 40 minutes from Salt Fork, and I believe I've seen one this summer. Oh, that's awesome. I know they hold on, Pat Smith. I know they exist. My grandfather spoke of it once. That's all I need. Hey, you never, what, Pam, you don't even need to explain why you believe. You believe? That's good enough for me. We all have different reasons why we believe. And I told everybody, myself growing up in the mountains, hunting every season, My family talked to us like respect the woods, respect Bigfoot. I didn't even know Bigfoot growing up was considered a folklore because everybody in my family talked about Bigfoot like talk about bears of the woods. Respect the woods, respect it. So for me, I when I heard this go like, what? They talk like Bigfoot like Santa Claus, like it's a bully. Like, really? Oh, okay. Okay. And of course, when we had our own experience, that just made a plus. But since then, I've never been that close again to another sighting of a Bigfoot like that. Never again. And I'm talking what, 30 years, 35 years later? But I know they exist. If anybody really understands the woods, these woods are, guys, just look in the Northwest where I live. You got the woods from California to Oregon, all the way to Canada. I mean, there's so many places for these Bigfoots to live. If you think you're going to spot them, then you're crazy. All right, let's go to the next one. Eric Shimpton's snowy Bigfoot Yeti footprint. Again, I like the picture of putting a tool right next to the footprint to kind of tell you what's the size of this footprint here. It's right here. British explorer Eric Errol Shimpton snapped this photo while trekking through the Himalayas in 1951, alleging that the footprint belonged to a Yeti. In 2014, Christie's auction house in London capitalized on the worldwide interest in the Bigfoot and sold the original photo for nearly $5,000. Okay. So what do you guys think? Do you guys feel that's the real deal? Do you guys feel that picture is a Bigfoot? Now, of course, again, if it was me, I would ask, are there any other footprints? Why is that the only one? I would ask simple questions like that. Because, somebody would say, well, Eric, it was probably snowing there. Okay. If it was snowing there, why isn't that one covered? I mean, these are the questions that you should ask. And it's not like I'm saying that's not real. That could probably be the biggest, most realist Bigfoot print. But those would be some of the questions I would ask. Are the other footprints? Is it covered by a tree where there's not enough snow to get on it? I would just ask simple questions like that because you want to know all the facts that you can. That's a good question. Why are there other footprints? Because one thing about the snow versus the ground, we all know the snow, it's a lot easier to make prints versus the ground. So in theory, there should be a lot of those. In theory, there should be a lot. And good question. How far apart were they? How far apart? Exactly. Because if you think of a Bigfoot, you think of Bigfoot being 7 foot, 8 foot. I don't know the exact height of a Bigfoot. Nobody really does unless you're next to one. But when you're a taller person, your stride should be longer. So if there was a footprint right next to it, unless there's obstacles that's causing you to do short footsteps, that's the only way. Otherwise, the footprint should be wider. And then if there are footprints that are wider, then you're thinking to yourself, unless somebody is wearing a fake Bigfoot shoe print, a human, you would have their footprints there too. So, and now one of the positive things I would say, and also 1951, It's not like nowadays where you got social media, whatever, trying to get that fast, get all those likes, get all those thumbs up, get a story, get a movie made. In 1951, that's not going to guarantee you nothing. That's not going to guarantee fame, So, doing a hoax like that, what are you going to get out of that back in 1951? That's some of the things I do put in, thought process and all that, what is the thought process nowadays? Anybody want to fake it now because everybody wants those everybody wants a video to go viral. So there's more reasons on why to fake things versus back then. Doesn't mean they aren't faking things, but there'd be more of a reason why they're faking things. We got a few more. Now, guys, I hope you enjoy today's show. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's show. And I just want to just be more interactive with you guys because I love all of you who are here. All of you are awesome. I love it. We all have open minds in the world. Now, Marble Mountain Bigfoot. I did see the video footage. A young group was camping in the Marble Mountain Wilderness, California, when a leader, Jim Mills, noticed a strange-looking creature skulking along ridge nearby. He filmed it nearly 7 minutes, making the somewhat grainy footage the longest video of alleged Bigfoot sighting. I know a lot of you guys have seen that footage. I want to know from you guys, what do you think? If you've seen that footage, do you think that one is the real deal? Because if I remember right, the video, it was like walking on a hill. So if that's some kind of a human, it has pretty good gravity, right? On its way to the river, problem, it's like a 30-foot drop. Legit. The video checked out structure first. Very interesting. Yes, and Brown Dwarf, you are absolutely 100% correct. Because you do got to look at the structure, look at the area. For that to be a human, and first of all, when you look at it's like this human has a hunch. He's got a big round back. And for a human to wear something that heavy on a ledge where this was originally supposed to be filmed, that human is he's got special kind of gravity to be able to do that. Can it be? Is it possible? I guess. I don't know. But out of all the video footages I've seen, this one would be closer for me towards the real side. Because there's more, if that's a human, how can a human do that exactly? To look like that. Let me see. I looked at this yesterday over and over. Okay. So Pam, when you looked at this over and over, what do you think? After you're looking at this one over and over and over, do you think this is for you more on the real side versus fake side? Because I agree with Brown Dwarf. You really got to look at the structure first, where it's at, the area. And if that's a human, what would a human have to do to fake something like that? I really like to know. So you think it's real? Awesome. I think this is more on the real side too. Like I said, we can't say at 100% because none of us was there. But as far as it goes on the structure, if that's a hoax, man, that person did a damn good job. How he's able to do that ridge, to wear that heavy stuff, to walk like that. I guess anything's possible, right? I guess anything's possible. All right, let's look at this next one. All right, the most famous one of them all. The most famous one of them all. Let's see what it says here. For decades, okay, hold on. People have been fascinated with the legend of Bigfoot. Hold on a second. Here we go. Arguably the most famous and influential Bigfoot footage is the 1967 film shot by Robert Patterson and Bob Gimlin, which Gimlin was at the Yakima Bigfoot conference. Didn't get the opportunity to talk to him because it was, like I said, it was too hard to talk to them. The Bigfoot walk is, despite the parody by many, but never truly replicated. Even with this enhanced image, it's hard to tell if it's a person in a gorilla suit or the real deal. Hold on. Let me see here. Hey, is Marble Mountain where Kurt Cobain made his videos, as it sounds like he always has some? Oh, wow. You know what, Eric? I'm going to check that story out. I don't know. I don't know. I'll have to check that one out. No doubt it's real. If it was a hoax, if it was, Dina P wrote real. And you know, Hobbit, Marble Mountain is near California, so I don't know. Yeah. You know, out of all the evidence out there and stuff, that is, I would admit with that media assumption that that is probably the best one of them all, because people have tried to replicate it and they couldn't exactly. You know, there's even I know we're gonna go off the rails a little bit here for a second. There's even a Mandela effect with this picture. There's even a Mandela effect with the picture, because when you look at the close-up of the picture, the Bigfoot has boobs. It has boobs. People in the Mandela community says it never had it. Now, I know this is off the rails, but the picture is even famous in the Mandela effect world, saying the boob just appeared. And the boobs is a real key for this, why I feel this is more real than fake. Because when you're putting on a costume in 1967, you know, making a costume that has boobs that kind of come out is not something that was a normal thing to do with costumes. I'm just being honest here. I'm not being sexist or anything at all. But that thing here, let me see if I get a bigger picture of what I'm talking about. Here, let me see if I get a bigger picture. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. I'm going to see if I get a bigger picture of what I'm talking about. I know a lot of you know exactly what I'm talking about, but give me a second. Give me a second here. Let me take this one off. Let me share screen to this side. So when you look at the picture, it has breast. And the way it's walking, I will say, if it's a human, that's going to be a male person walking versus a female. The way it's walking, it's got to be a bigger person. And I hope it doesn't sound like I'm disrespecting women at all. I'm not. But I would say that would be a man walking if it's a hoax. And why would a Bigfoot suit have breasts? And that's the key thing for me to say this was more of a real deal for me. That's what I got out of it. Let's see what some of you saying now. Topless female Sasquatch volleyball. Must not have seen that one. This 54-year-old ago, they didn't have the equipment to do that or make that type of a costume. Hollywood still hasn't been able to duplicate it. Bingo. It's true. And I think the breast is part of that. Let me see if there's even a closer picture right here. Look at that. Look at that. I'm telling you, the breast on that is what's telling me that's the real deal. Really yet was small one, the property, second on the highway. Look at those legs, muscles. And that's what I'm saying. And Dina, and that's what I mean. If it's a hoax, it's gonna be a man in that suit to be able to walk the way it's walking. It's gonna be a man walking in that suit. And what if that's a breast design outfit? Did the man stuff it? Would he even care to stuff it to get it sticking out there? I mean, dude, you got to look at every single small details. You have to look at those details. Like, oh, that's a typical man thinking in that. No, you got to look at all the details of a suit. 1967. Let me see here. Oh, this is pretty good. On how it's walking. Yeah. That picture has been tampered from original area and added to the face. And well, I mean, by now all pictures has been tampered. But it comes down to the basics. Belief system. At the end of the day, whatever we think, it's still an all belief system by most people, unless you had the experience yourself where you're claiming it at 100%. But most people on average have not had any kind of experience with the Bigfoot. There's a lot of people don't even go out in the woods. They live more in city life or country life, never really in the woods. So it does come down at the end of the day. It's a belief system for you. It's like a belief system for the paranormal, a belief system for UFOs. Well, first of all, hold on. UFOs are real. They're unidentified flying objects. So there's no debate on if UFOs are real. I'm talking about alien ships. That is also a belief system, unless you had experience yourself. Mandela effect is a belief system. A lot of these things comes down to the end of it where it's a belief system. And at the end of the day, I've always said it. It's up to you. It's up to you on what you feel, what's real for you or not. Only thing I ask for anybody before you accept something as your truth, however you do your own investigation, look into it. Before you make anything you're saying at anything at 100%, I would hope you at least investigate it somehow. And everybody's investigation is different on their own belief system. Is it trusting 3-4 your friends knowing that they know the people? Could be. Is it trusting the evidence you have in front of you and all that? And one of the things you do got to be careful, because sometimes you do hear this a lot. Well, science says this, but science says that. Science was able to prove this. Listen. You ever see those commercials, those drug commercials, and those scientists says, this is proof. This works. This is proven to work. Listen, you can find science that works for you, and you can find science that works against you. I mean, so before you automatically saying, well, there's been science on it. Well, there's science that proves things are real. Science proves things are wrong. I mean, there's professors who believe in this stuff. There's professors that it's all hoax. I mean, you got to look at all sides and who's telling you the story. Hey, listen, there's people out there who believe that everything the government tells them is real. There are. Well, if Biden says this is the way it is, this is the way it is, then great. But just be careful. What I'm telling you is be careful. Now, even though I'm saying I don't believe there really is no true expert, there are people who know more than others. But saying that, I'm not telling you to go out, jump in your car, drive out in the woods and walk out there. Because if you do that, you're going to get lost. Okay? If you are going to investigate yourself, the first thing that for me to tell you to recommend is learn the area, learn where you're going. If you're going to hunt the Bigfoot in the woods, kind of know it, because, and listen, if you're not a true outdoors person, bring some yarn with you. I'm serious. Bring yarn, tie a piece of the yarn to a tree, and walk out in the woods. Because you can easily get lost in the woods. There's experienced people that get lost in the woods. So be careful when you do your investigations. If you're out there in person, be safe, have water, have things with you, whatever you need to do to make sure you get out safe. There's nothing more important than your own safety. Your safety is more important if Bigfoot's real or not. Yourself, your family needs you. So beyond that, guys, that's today's show. I hope you guys enjoyed today. Tomorrow, usually on Wednesdays, I usually jump on Unidentified S4's channel, Anthony's channel. On Wednesdays, I usually jump on his channel. So if you're not familiar with Unidentified S4, please, somebody in the chat, if somebody don't mind, put in Unidentified S4 link to his channel, because usually on Wednesdays, I'm on his channel, but I'll be back on Thursday with here. I'll probably do a more of an old-fashioned type of show here on Thursday. I'm going to go back to where I have segments of Bigfoots, UFOs, paranormal, and a couple Mandela effects. I love doing that. I love having great things, but today I just wanted to be with you guys. I want to tell you guys about my experience at the conference. I just wanted to be with you guys. There it is. That's Unidentified S4. I'll be with him at 9:00 unless he doesn't want me, and he has every right to not want me. I don't blame him. I wouldn't want me on somebody else's channel. Actually, I don't get invited to a lot of people's channels, and when I do, it's great. So, guys, I love you all, and I'm telling you right now what I love about you guys. Everybody in the chat, you're all so open-minded that you're not going to believe everything that you hear, but at least you're willing to listen to hear the possibilities of what can be true and what's not true out there. So beyond that, let me see here. Let me end today. I did a Dogman show a couple weeks ago. I made a special intro for the Dogman. So I'm going to end today's show with the Dogman intro. All right, guys, I love you all. I'll see you guys tomorrow on Unidentified S4's channel, and I'll see you guys back here on this Thursday. Be safe, be smart, use this, and take time before you say this is real. Make sure you've done your own homework on it. All right, guys, see you on Thursday.